Unpacking the implications of USA's veto against a ceasefire in Gaza, a humanitarian crisis. Introduction. The international community stands witness to an escalating humanitarian crisis in Gaza, marked recently by USA's veto against a proposed ceasefire at the United Nations Security Council. This veto comes in the wake of staggering civilian casualties, with reports indicating that nearly 18,000 lives have been lost, 70% of whom are women and children. This blog post aims to delve into the ramifications of this decision and its impact on the Palestinian population and global geopolitics. The veto and its impact. Humanitarian perspective. The veto has starkly highlighted the plight of civilians in conflict zones. The disproportionate impact on women and children is particularly alarming, raising serious concerns about violations of international humanitarian law and the protection of vulnerable populations in wartime. The lack of a ceasefire exacerbates the humanitarian crisis, impeding the delivery of essential aid and medical supplies, and increasing the displacement of populations. Political and diplomatic repercussions. US's use of the veto power reflects the complexities of international diplomacy, particularly in situations involving permanent members of the Security Council. This action underscores the challenges in achieving consensus on global peacekeeping and conflict resolution. The veto could potentially strain USA's diplomatic relations with other nations, intensifying global political tensions and leading to a re-evaluation of diplomatic strategies and alliances. Long-term consequences. The ongoing conflict, fueled by the absence of a ceasefire, risks long-term destabilization in the region, with potential spillover effects into neighboring countries. The economic impact is also significant, with the conflict disrupting trade routes, leading to increased prices, and affecting global markets. A call for action. The international community must reinvigorate its efforts to find peaceful solutions, respecting the principles of international law and the sovereignty of nations. There is an urgent need for increased humanitarian aid and support for the people of Gaza, with a focus on safeguarding the rights and well-being of women and children. This situation calls for a re-examination of the mechanisms of international diplomacy and conflict resolution, particularly the role and responsibility of major powers in the United Nations. USA's lone stand against global consensus and the invocation of Article 99. An additional layer to this complex situation is the fact that USA's veto was exercised in direct opposition to the consensus of the other 14 member countries of the United Nations Security Council. This singular stance against a global plea for ceasefire highlights a significant rift in international diplomacy and decision-making. Moreover, the situation has reached a point where Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary-General, felt compelled to invoke Article 99 of the UN Charter. This rarely used article grants the Secretary-General the authority to bring to the attention of the Security Council any matter which, in his opinion, may threaten the maintenance of international peace and security. The invocation of Article 99 is a testament to the gravity of the situation in Gaza and reflects the Secretary-General's proactive stance in seeking resolution and peace. It underscores the urgency and critical nature of the conflict, demanding immediate and focused global attention to address and resolve the ongoing crisis. Conclusion. The USA veto against a ceasefire in Gaza is more than a political maneuver. It is a decision that has profound humanitarian, diplomatic, and long-term implications. As the world grapples with this unfolding crisis, the need for effective, compassionate, and swift action has never been more critical. The international community must come together to address this challenge, ensuring the protection and dignity of all affected civilians, and working towards a sustainable and peaceful resolution.